Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a makeup look with all new makeup from Sephora, Morphe, Huda Beauty, Jaclyn Hill, you name it. If you are new here, go ahead and make sure to subscribe and we're going to get started. So to start off, I'm going to prime my face. I already did all of my skincare, everything, but since it's winter, my skin literally sucks up all hydration as soon as it's on. So I'm going to go in with the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Oil. This stuff is amazing for just adding an extra boost of hydration before you put on foundation, especially because the foundation I'm going to be using is like a more matte formula. And you really only need like 3 drops of this stuff. I'm just going to warm it up in my hands and press it into my face. Now going in with a new foundation that I've been trying out is the Shiseido Synchro Skin Self-Refreshing Foundation. This is oil-free, broad spectrum, SPF 30, and this is in color 330 Bamboo. This stuff is so good. I never gravitate towards a matte formula foundation. I always do like dewy or something more hydrating on my face, but this stuff is such long wear. I don't have to worry about it like moving or just like touching up my makeup throughout the day. I know that this is going to stay all day long. And you can see when it's mixed with that oil primer, it really does have a nice glisten to it. It's not completely matte. And because I do go a shade darker, I like to kind of blend it down my jawline and slightly into my neck, just so there's no harsh lines and the color kind of like flows evenly. I must say, this is probably one of my favorite new sponges that I have discovered from Morphe for blending, for baking, for like cutting really sharp lines on your face when you're baking. This thing is amazing. Whenever I'm near their store, I'll always pick one up just to have like an extra at home. It's just like the perfect fine line for defining those like really sleek areas on your face. And I could really just sit here and blend like all day. I feel like you can really never blend enough. So I'm just gonna go until I feel like I'm satisfied. It kind of finishes in like a powder-like formula. So technically, you don't have to set it with like a full face of powder. It really sets nicely on its own and doesn't have a ton of creasing either. Next, I'm going to go in with Tarte Shape Tape. I feel like this is like a cult favorite of many people. I've definitely become a huge fan of it. I switch between this and then the ultra creamy version of this, depending on like how sturdy I need my concealer to be, but this stuff holds up so nicely. I'd say the only finicky thing about it is that it dries really quick, so you have to work kind of fast with it. And for concealer, I use the shade 205 Light Sand. I like to use a lighter shade to really brighten up certain areas of my face, especially because I do tend to use a darker foundation. So it kind of like gives a nice like flow of color from light to dark. Next, I'm going to set my under eyes with something that I picked up that I have been absolutely loving. This is the Beauty Bakerie Flower. This is in Eau Translucent, and this stuff, I'd say, I've been gravitating towards it more than I am like my Laura Mercier Translucent Powder. The pigment is really great. It's really strong. It's like a velvet finish, but it's just kind of like a standard loose setting powder, but it is, I love it. I love it. It's like my new favorite setting powder at the moment. And I don't notice any creasing when I do use this. And I'm just gonna let this bake for a little bit, just to make sure my under eyes are nice and set, and so you guys can see how like brightening and great this stuff is. I'm also gonna be using this on some T-zone areas of my face. Okay, while I have this setting, I'm going to go in with a new product that I got from Huda Beauty. This is the Glowish Luminous Pressed Powder. This is probably one of my favorite new finds. It is so stunning. This is in shade Light 03, and it is just like a dream. If you like a dewy, shimmery look, this stuff is the best. It has the perfect amount of pigment. It has a great shimmer to it, so you just always look like so fresh and like lively and beautiful. I absolutely love it. So I'm just gonna swirl this in with this Morphe Jaclyn Hill brush that is JH01, and I'm just gonna lightly dust this across the rest of my face. So you can see almost instantly how much shine this pressed powder gives. It is so gorgeous compared to this and now this. I love that it's also pigmented with a bit of color, because when I use like a translucent powder, even something like this, I feel like it almost washes off my, not washes off, it washes out my makeup a bit. So something like this just adds a little bit of like a sun-kissed look. And when I do use this, I like to do what I just did with the baking to avoid getting too much shimmer on those areas like my under eyes and my chin. And like the middle, I like to highlight those separately if I'm going to highlight. And I'm also going to take this down my neck and slightly to my chest just to give that like youthful glow to those areas as well and distribute a little bit more color. This is better done when you're not wearing a white shirt. This is a little risky, I must say. Now I'm going to go in with bronzer. I'm going to use one of my tried and trues. This is the Huda Benefit. This is just like my go-to perfect shade for contouring, bronzing. I absolutely love this stuff. And then if I want to deepen it a little bit, I'll go in with a different shade, but we're going to see how much color we can get from this. And for the bronzer, I'm using the M403 from Morphe. I just really discovered how great Morphe makeup brushes are. And since then, I've been like stocking up on all their different brushes. They're so affordable. They're so well made. I don't see like how I went so long without them. If you're someone who's looking for an affordable set of good quality makeup brushes, I would highly, highly recommend checking out Morphe. They even sell like great sets where you can buy a bunch together, but I'm really picky or like particular about what I'm actually going to use, so I like to pick them out individually. But I know if you buy them in a bundle, you'll definitely get a better deal. I saw someone do a TikTok trick recently with bronzing their nose, and I kind of want to try it. This could be a total fail because I have not done this before, and I'm not really big into TikTok either, which is like crazy because I feel like everyone is, but supposedly you set this in the middle of your nose and you just go like this. I'm really scared though. I don't know if I should do it. Let's see if it works. Why not? I mean, it worked. My nose is like slightly slanted. I wouldn't say slanted. It has like a tilted bridge on it, but it worked, you guys. These lines are like, they're there. And we can just touch it up a little bit. I like that. Let's go TikTok. Okay, I have bronzed. I'm just going to blend everything out with a big fluffy brush that has like the slightest bit of loose setting powder on it, just to kind of give it a more like airbrushed look. And then while we're at it, we can just like blend out this bake. I'm gonna take like a big brush. The edges on this sponge, you guys, are so good for like getting into small areas and like overall just like setting up a really straight, nice line. Okay, next I'm gonna go in with one of my favorite new finds. This is the Rogue Romance palette from Jaclyn Hill. It is so fabulous, you guys. The colors in here to play with are so much fun. It comes in, I believe, like 2 different tones. This is, I believe, the warmer tone, and then there's the cooler tone, which has more like true pinks in it. This one has some like warmer colors. And even though some of these do look a little bit intimidating, I would say there's so many safe colors in here that I love to play with, and then also just like mixing them in with other ones and seeing what kind of colors you can get. I haven't loved blush this much since I got this palette. I was looking for a palette when I was at Sephora, and I'd say for like a single shade it was like $30 for one blush compact. And then I went into Morphe to grab something and I saw that this was there. It was also on sale for like 50% off or something like that. I had heard great reviews about it and I picked it up. It was like $34.99 with the discount for 6 shades, you guys. And this is absolutely gorgeous. As you can see, I use it as like a mirror all the time, and I feel like I'm really getting my money's worth. And the formulas are very pigmented, very beautiful. I'm gonna go in with 2 of like the safest colors in here, which is Pretty Posh and Tempting. This one right in the middle, and then this one up here. We're just gonna do like a light swirl, pat off the excess, and then apply. The brush that I'm using is also by Jaclyn Hill. This is her blush brush. I think she has 2. This is like her everything brush, blush brush. That was a mouthful. But I love it. It's like perfectly kind of like cut in the right position, so you don't have to do much work. It's really effortless, and it goes on so nice. It's a really soft brush too. It's not too dense, so it doesn't pick up too much product. It just really lightly dusts it and sets it where you want it to go. This blush too is very buildable. Like, I just put on the smallest bit with this application, but if you wanted a more bold, intense look, the sky is the limit with this palette. It is insane. I also like to dust the smallest bit on my forehead and the bridge of my nose, just kind of like where the sun would naturally hit you. Okay, going in for highlight, this is something that I tried including in my last favorites video, and somehow it didn't make it in. Like, I took a photo, it was on the cover, and I even had it like in the description, but somehow I forgot to grab it and actually use it in the video. But today I have it. This is Benefit's Cookie Highlighter. It is so incredible. It is just like the perfect kind of like champagne, metallic, like wet looking highlight. It's so gorgeous. And I'm using this Morphe M510 brush, which is maybe one of my favorite brushes. I like to look straight when I do this, just to kind of make sure that I'm getting like the highest points of my cheek. And honestly, going in with more highlight isn't necessary after we used the Huda Beauty Glowish pressed powder, because I feel like I'm already so like dewy and glowing, but why not go the extra mile? We're already here, we're already doing it, you know? I know that I normally would do this, I just love doing it. I love a good highlight, so we're just gonna go for it. So this is without the highlight. This is just with the Huda Glowish, which is already gorgeous by itself, but then this is with a little bit of the cookie highlight, which is so intense. You can really build this up and get like the most dramatic glow on your face, but I'm just gonna kind of keep it like as is, not go too overboard, and go for the other side. So today I used that matte formula foundation, and as you can see with these products, I am still glowing. Like, you would never be able to tell, but when I do my makeup like this, it also lasts so much longer, you guys. It's so incredible. For brows, I'm going to go in with one of my favorites. This is the Benefit Gimme Brow Shade 1. It is like my go-to. I swear I never draw in my eyebrows anymore after I started using this. It just looks so natural. It's so effortless. I feel like this product was made for anyone that was like on the go, or anyone who's just kind of lazy about their eyebrows. Like, I can spend so much time on my eyebrows, but this really just like simplifies everything. Even if you're just starting out with makeup, I would definitely recommend this over getting an eyebrow pencil, because you can go seriously wrong with an eyebrow pencil, and this is kind of like a no-brainer. Okay, now to lock in the eyebrows, because they will not stay in place. Mine will not, they always fall. I'm going to be using the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. I've been using this stuff for a lifetime, so if you guys have a great dupe, let me know, because it gets expensive. It is worth it though, like, it works really, really well, so I keep on buying it. For eyeshadow, I'm just going to keep it simple. I'm going to use the Tarte palette, and I'm probably going to mix in some of these shades from the Rogue Romance just to help blend everything out and make it look kind of like monochromatic. I'm going to take a big fluffy brush and go in with Fresh Start and just work it into my crease. I feel like no matter what kind of makeup look I'm doing, I'll always just work like a neutral brown into my crease just to start with that definition. I mean, eyes even more so than face. I feel like blending is the key to good eyeshadow. You just like keep going forever and ever, and you'll have a fabulous look. You don't really need that many different colors. Like, you can really build such a great look by just using one shade. It's just what you do with it that counts. And again, just blending it out. I like using like a teddy bear kind of brown, or even like the same shade of bronzer that you used on your face. Works great too. Both sides are pretty well blended, so I think I'm gonna go in with a pink tone to kind of match and bring out the pink in the blush. I think I'll go in with Petal and mix it with Inspiring, and just again go along the tops of my eyelids. Okay, so I'm happy with the color. I don't want to add any more color to my eyes, but I think I'll go in with a highlight and just accentuate the innermost areas of my eyes. I'm going to take a light shade, let's say Wishful, with the Chanel just like little flat palette brush, and just sweep it in the inner corners. I like to drag this under my eyes as well because it kind of works how like a white eyeliner would. It just really like wakens your eyes up and makes them pop. I'm not one of those people that can really do like dark shades around their eyes. I really like a bright eye. And just for some extra drama, I'm gonna go in with the Benefit Cookie Highlight, and that's what I'm going to be highlighting my tear ducts with. I'm also just gonna take a little bit underneath my brow bone, because why not? And before I go in with mascara or any wet products, I am going to set my face with a setting spray because I don't want any of that like mascara to transfer onto my face. It's happened before and it's not fun. So we're gonna set the powder. I'm using the Morphe Mini Continuous Setting Spray, and I love it. Like, I usually use the MAC Fix Plus, but this is such like a fine, beautiful mist. It's almost empty, but it is like, oh, it's so good, you guys. This also helps to set that powder on your face so it doesn't look like cakey or over powdered. It really just kind of like melts it all together. So somehow I don't know where my eyelash curler is, so we're going to proceed without it. For mascara, I'm using the Voluminous Lash Paradise. I've been using this for months now, and it is my go-to. If you guys have been following me, you know that I had a period of time where I was looking for a good mascara, and I have landed on this one, and I have not switched. I really like this mascara because not only is it really good at giving your lashes like body and volume, but it also helps with lengthening. Like, it's like an even in between. This is supposed to be a dupe of Better Than Sex, but I tried Better Than Sex in the past and I wasn't a huge fan of it. What do you guys think? What do you like better? Do you like Lash Paradise or do you like Better Than Sex? Do you think that this is a dupe of Better Than Sex? So for lips, I'm going to be lining my lips with NYX. This is Nude Suede Shoes. This is one of my favorite lip liners that I've been using forever. I'm really back and forth between this and Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk, but this one, if you are on a budget, is so inexpensive and such a great shade. I also feel like Pillow Talk at times can be a little bit too dark for me or a little bit too pink, and this one is just the perfect like neutral pinky brown. So something that I do, I try not to overdraw my lips, but I like to connect the tops of my Cupid bow and make it a bit more like smoothed and almost more straight, not completely straight, but not like a huge dip. And then I'll drag the color in on my lips just to make my lipstick last a little bit longer as well. And for lipstick color, I'm going to be going with my current favorite. This is MAC Honey Love. It's like the perfect nude pink. I feel like that's my go-to color is nude pink. They're just like various shades. This is going to be a matte formula, so I do always hydrate before I put it on. Since I have arrived in Michigan, it is now snowing. There's officially snow on the ground. It's cold. I feel like my skin and my lips are so much more dry. So matte lipstick is not always the move, I have to say, but I love the appearance of it, so I try my best to kind of keep up with it. If you do love these shades that are matte but you do have chapped lips, I would just recommend putting a layer on before you put it on, and then maybe taking like a hydrating gloss and putting it over the top. It's not going to have the same matte effect, but you will still get that same color. So I'm super happy with it. I think that the Huda Beauty Glowish pressed powder on my face makes such a difference. I'm so obsessed with this stuff. I did use it a couple times before and I immediately ran and told all my friends and family, so I wanted to share it with you guys too, so you could see how fabulous this looks on a matte foundation. Like, this is just stunning. It's so gorgeous. You really don't even need the extra highlight. I'd say this is one of my favorite purchases in a long time. I will be rebuying this. Another one of my favorites, obviously, is the Jaclyn Hill Rogue Romance. This palette is so fun. It really inspires me to bring back like those feminine blushy moments. I also love pink as eyeshadow, so you kind of got like 2-in-1 with it. But overall, like, the amount of product that you're getting for the price of this is insane, and the formula is so great. It's so pigmented, it's so easy to blend, it's like satin. I'd say if I had to pick two of my favorites, it would be this and the Glowish. I'm loving the Shiseido foundation that I told you guys about. If you work long days or you're going out and you want your makeup to stay, that stuff is phenomenal, and I love the way that it looks on my skin. Also a great purchase that, again, I meant to put in my last favorites video, but I will mention it again for you guys, is the Benefit Cookie Highlight. This stuff is like beaming and wet and glowing. It is so fabulous. I love the Becca Champagne Pop, but I've been using this pretty often, almost more so than that now. Sometimes I'll blend the two, but this is like one of my new favorites. It is also pretty affordable because it is Benefit. A few of my final favorites that I'll mention in this video are going to be the Morphe products that I've gotten. So the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist, like, you feel kind of fabulous when you're doing it, and it's such fine mist. You don't feel like your face is getting like splattered or too wet or anything like you do with some of the other setting sprays that get like chunky when you're squirting it. This one is just like super fine, perfect consistency. My makeup lasts when I use it. Their makeup brushes are phenomenal for the price, and the makeup sponge that I'm so obsessed with, like the color, the cut of it, it's perfect. If I were to recommend a couple of these brushes to you guys from Morphe, I would say some of my favorites is the Under Eye Bullet, which is the M536. I'm obsessed with the highlighting brush. This is the what is this? The M510. And if I were to pick between these, what would I pick? I would say, I want to say the blush brush because I'm so excited about the blush that I just got. Yeah, I would say either the blush brush or the contouring brush. The blush brush is by Jaclyn Hill, JH04, and the contouring brush is going to be the M403. I'll leave everything linked down below in the description if you guys are interested in checking them out. This is not sponsored. This is just stuff that I try on my own, that I love, that I want to share with you guys, let you know how I like it, if it's worth the investment. These are some of my favorite videos to watch personally, so I like to share these things with you guys in case you're looking for similar products or you like similar things. So definitely recommend the things that I tried out here today. Definitely approved. Again, everything's linked down below. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe, and I hope you guys have a fabulous day, and I will see you soon.